Mario Kart World is a great game, but since Nintendo likes money, it'll be getting DLC for sure. I'll only be discussing the retro courses that I think are returning in this video due to a theory I've got. This theory would not help us guess new characters or modes or even new tracks in general. It's only going to help me make more educated guesses about returning retro tracks. So my theory is that if there's a remix of a track's theme already in the Free Roam's jukebox, then that track probably won't be added as DLC. In case you're unaware, the Free Roam mode in Mario Kart World doesn't have any of its own music or anything. Instead, it plays randomly selected remixes of music from throughout the Mario franchise, and a good amount of this music is from Mario Kart. I don't have any actual evidence that supports my claim that already having a remix in the game means your track can't make it in, but it just kind of makes sense to me. That's the only evidence I'm going off of. So basically my source is that it sounds about right. I think it would be best to list out every track that already has a remix in the game so we can eliminate them right off the bat. I will be consulting the Mario Wiki for this data, which means it might not be 100% accurate or up to date. So if I get anything wrong, it's not my fault. Super Mario Kart. This one's a little bit weird because it just uses a bunch of different course themes with different layouts. And each course with the same theme uses the same music. Thankfully, to make this discussion easier, every course theme is already represented in Mario Kart World's music in some way, which, going by my assumptions, means that there won't be another Super Mario Kart track added. And that's personally fine with me because a lot of the Super Mario Kart tracks are just boring. Mario Kart 64 does a similar thing where a lot of the courses use the same music as each other. Mario Circuit, Luigi Circuit, and Royal Raceway all use the same music as Wario Stadium, which is already in the game. Yoshi Valley and Moo Moo Farm's shared theme is in the jukebox, as well as Koopa Troopa Beach, Calamari Desert, Toad's Turnpike, Frappe Snowland and Sherbetland, DK Jungle Parkway, and Rainbow Road. Mario Kart Super Circuit's representation in this game is really bad because it literally has not a single course in the game. There is some Super Circuit music though, which means the following courses are not contenders for DLC in my opinion. The Circuit, Beaches and Bowser's Castles, Yoshi Desert, Cheese Land, Ribbon Road, and Rainbow Road. The only Double Dash music missing in the game is the theme for Waluigi Stadium and Wario Coliseum, both of which are extremely unlikely in my opinion just due to the similarities with N64 Wario Stadium, which is already in the game. Mario Kart DS is also only missing one track, that being Bowser's Castle. However, I don't think that one's likely either, for a completely different reason. That reason being that they got rid of the course prefixes. Basically, what would have originally been called N64 Wario Stadium is just called Wario Stadium now, despite being the exact same track. So from this point onward, I don't think any Bowser's Castle or Rainbow Road track will be making it in, just because I don't think they'd want to have two tracks just called Bowser's Castle. Mario Kart Wii has Luigi/Mario Circuit, Mushroom Gorge, Coconut Mall, DK Summit, Wario's Gold Mine, Daisy Circuit, Maple Treeway, Rumble Volcano, Dry Ruins, Moonview Highway, and Rainbow Road. Mario Kart 7 is represented with Toad/Mario Circuit, Daisy Hills, Music Park, Rock Mountain, Piranha Plant Slide, DK Jungle, Rosalina's Ice World, and Rainbow Road. Mario Kart 8 has no retro tracks in the game, surprisingly. I get that you can just play 8 Deluxe on the Switch too, but that didn't stop them from adding Wii courses to the original Mario Kart 8 or DS courses to Mario Kart 7. But music-wise, it has Water Park, Sweet Sweet Canyon, Thwomp Ruins, Mario Circuit, Toad Harbor, Twisted Mansion, Shy Guy Falls, Sunshine Airport, Dolphin Shoals, Electrodrome, Mount Wario, Cloud Top Cruise, Bone Dry Dunes, Bowser's Castle, Rainbow Road, Dragon Driftway, Ice Outpost, Wild Woods, and Super Bell Subway. Surprisingly, Tour didn't get left out, even having some city tracks in the mix. We've got Tokyo Blur, Vancouver Velocity, Los Angeles Laps, Singapore Speedway, Bangkok Rush, Ninja Hideaway, Merry Mountain, Piranha Plant Pipeline, and Squeaky Clean Sprint. Now let me make it clear, I'm like 99.9% sure that none of the city tracks are actually going to return. That's just a guess though, I might be wrong. They could throw like Berlin Byways right next to like right next to Toad's Factory or something, I don't know. Now we get into what's left, and I'll pick 8 tracks out of those which I think are most likely. Super Mario Kart has nothing like I mentioned earlier, so we'll immediately jump into 64, which has 2 remaining. Banshee Boardwalk and Bowser's Castle. And judging by my assumptions earlier, Bowser's Castle is immediately out, which is really unfortunate because I'd like to see this track get a full remake in an actually good Mario Kart game, which means Banshee Boardwalk is the most likely in my opinion. We've only got one ghost course in the game as it is, so another one isn't too far-fetched. So I'll go ahead and slot it in as my first prediction. Super Circuit's unrepresented courses are Boo Lake, Broken Pier, Sky Garden, Snowland, Sunset Wilds, and Lakeside Park. I'm immediately tossing Boo Lake and Broken Pier because of Banshee Boardwalk already being a ghost track over water at that. Sky Garden, Sunset Wilds, and Snowland were all just brought back in the Booster Course Pass, which would make you think that their chances are less likely, but clearly not. So I think our most likely is Lakeside Park, even though it was in Tour, but I'm not really considering that game much for this video. I do think we're going to get another Booster Course Pass repeat, but I'm not entirely sure which one it will be. I think I'm just going to pick Sunset Wilds just in the hopes that they can redeem themselves. To reiterate, I don't think either Double Dash or DS are getting any new tracks in the game, because the remaining courses are way too similar to ones that are already in Mario Kart World. It's time for Mario Kart Wii, in which the only courses remaining are Koopa Cape and Bowser's Castle. We're getting Koopa Cape for like the 5th game in a row. Are you kidding me? It was originally in Mario Kart Wii, then Mario Kart 7, then Mario Kart Tour, then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and now probably Mario Kart World. Like, it's a completely fine course. I don't hate it or anything. I'm just so sick and tired of it. Koopa Cape is on thin ice. If any of the courses that I pick in the next few games are anywhere similar to Koopa Cape, it's getting cut. Mario Kart 7 has 5 missing tracks. Cheep Cheep Lagoon, both of the Woohoo Island tracks, Neo Bowser City, and Bowser's Castle. And as much as I would like to finally get the open world Woohoo Island that I've wanted for years, it's just not gonna happen. So that leaves us with Cheep Cheep Lagoon and Neo Bowser City. I'm guessing Cheep Cheep Lagoon. Sure, its entire gimmick originally was showcasing the underwater racing in Mario Kart 7, which Mario Kart World has completely removed, but they messed with Wario Shipyard enough to get rid of it, so anything's possible. And on an even better note, it's way too similar to have it and Koopa Cape in the same game, so I'm getting rid of Koopa Cape finally, so that's some good news. Now it's time for Mario Kart 8/8 Deluxe, which, like I said a bit ago, has no courses, so I think at least one is likely. But we're in a bit of a predicament here. There's only one that isn't in the game outside of the non-Mario tracks, that being Mario Kart Stadium, which I think is just way too similar to Peach Stadium, but for the time being, I guess I'll put it in there. Now lastly, we have Mario Kart Tour, which outside of the city tracks is only missing 2, Piranha Plant Cove and Yoshi's Island. Yoshi's Island is a bit weird because its music is a remix in and of itself, so I don't know if it's technically represented by the Yoshi's Island remix that's already present in the game. However, I'm picking it over Piranha Plant Cove because I think Piranha Plant Cove is just okay, and I actually really like the Yoshi's Island track in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So this will give us 6 DLC retro courses, which is less than the original Mario Kart 8 on the Wii U got. So I think we're going to get 2 more that are going to overlap with music already in the game. And so I went and looked back through all of the remixes and picked 2 more courses. The first one being Piranha Plant Pipeline for one simple reason. It is the only Mario Kart Tour track to not be remade in the Booster Course Pass. It's a track I've never actually gotten to experience, so I'd really hope it gets added so I can actually play it. And for the final course, I'm going to go with another one from Mario Kart 8, because if I didn't, it would be left with only one track in the game. I decided to go with Cloud Top Cruise because there's only one cloud-themed track in the game, and it's very different from the one that we do have. I also considered Dolphin Shoals, but at the same time, that one's really similar to Cheep Cheep Lagoon, so I don't think they'd want to do that. And I also considered Bone Dry Dunes, but then I realized I don't think Nintendo hates us that badly. So here's my final list of retro courses that I think will be in Mario Kart World's DLC. So let me know in the comments what courses you think will be added, or just courses you want. And yes, unfortunately this means none of the Mario Kart Live home circuit tracks will be added. I was really hoping my bathroom would make it again, but you know, there's always next time.